Tonight, I'm pleased to welcome a very special guest and friend to the Opportunity Coalition, Colorado State Treasurer Walker Stapleton. It's an honor to have someone of such high caliber and influence join our conversations and overall dialogue about the issues of today and, frankly, the future of our great state. As our state treasurer, Walker also deals with much of what we address here every month through his regular interactions with businesses, industries, individuals, and communities across our state. I also know that he recently completed a personal tour of every one of our counties. For those that don't know how many counties we have in our great state, there are 64 of them. That's a lot of travel time, and that's a very big commitment. And he is really invested in having an intricate and personal knowledge of our diverse state and its vast assets. No doubt Walker will shed some light on important functions and operation of the Treasurer's office, like balancing budgets, investing state funds, public finance, state economics, and collecting tax revenue. I'll leave that to him because, after all, it was a very smart man, Albert Einstein himself, who said, "The hardest thing in the world to understand is the income tax." Leave it to Albert to break it down. I like it. I would like to offer a few thoughts on an idea, a principle, if you will, that seems to encapsulate all of the above topics I mentioned surrounding the role of the state treasurer. And that is this idea of stewardship. I would propose that the office of the state treasurer is responsible for, first and foremost, being a good steward of the vast financial resources here in Colorado. A good treasurer gives serious attention to these details and works not only to manage well, but also strives to give the best returns within reasonable risk tolerances on these investments. The idea of stewardship or being good stewards is something that is unfortunately and oftentimes not highlighted enough for some people in business and in the realm of politics. But could there be anything more appropriate that fits in with this message of productivity, sustainability, and investment than the concept of stewardship? Stewardship at its core is simply the idea of properly caring for and managing that which has been entrusted to us. A good question we can all ask ourselves is, how can I provide the best return for those who have invested so much in me, my business, my family, my community? What are we doing to be stewards of the gifts and resources given to us or developed and built by us? Are we wasting these resources? Are we being sloppy? Or are we aware and disciplined enough to invest these right back into others? For those that know a little bit about my company, North Star Commercial Partners, which I founded 16 years ago, we focus on going out and buying vacant buildings throughout America. We do that to create jobs and opportunity and empower people in those buildings. And I want to give you a personal experience that I just had a week ago in Los Angeles. One of our new concepts as a company is that we really believe in doing well by doing good. And so one of these new concepts that we have is we have this template to service our veterans. And tonight we have Matt Runyon, who is a veteran who just joined our company as an intern. And Matt, thank you for being. Raise your hand in case people want to talk to you after. There he is. And so Matt has a vision that we can go out and have an impact on our veterans who have served our country by creating housing for them on this development, to create job training in retail and office space for them, to create a physical fitness facility for them. And it's a pretty new and novel concept that we're very excited about, not only creating in Colorado, but around the country. So back to my story about LA. So last week we went to Los Angeles. And for those who have been to Beverly Hills, anyone been to Beverly Hills? You got to get the little picture next to Rodeo Drive and all that. Well, as you leave the highway on the other side of Beverly Hills, The Veterans Administration has a 500-acre campus. And on that campus, we toured it, there are many, many buildings that are completely vacant and dilapidated. Buildings that the government is having to try to upkeep, but they're not doing a very good job of it. And here's the heartbreaking part. What we want to do is to go take one of these facilities and create a project for the homeless. There's 10,000 people in this near vicinity that are homeless in LA. And a good percentage of those are veterans. It's heartbreaking. These are people that came home, couldn't assimilate back into society for one reason or the other. And while we're sitting touring this facility, talking to the VA about just giving us the opportunity to buy or improve one of these buildings to serve these veterans, on the street, right there on the highway, are veterans begging with signs. But the government, in its wisdom, isn't in the business of trying to make a productive facility, isn't in the business of trying to turn these facilities into environments where people can thrive. And to me, that's one example of a very endemic problem that we have in our society. Are they being good stewards with what they have been entrusted with? Having a dilapidated building when there are people who have served and bled for our country standing on the street corner? Ask yourself that question. You see, these questions, I think, transcend political differences. This is about people. This is about Americans and trying to make an impact. So these thoughts that I've shared with you tonight are in no way intended to be a guilt trip or an accusation by any means at all. Quite the contrary. I hope this is nothing but an encouragement to us all. We would all do well to remember to be leaders in our respective fields, not only as advocates for business, entrepreneurship, capitalism, liberty, and free markets, but also as those known for leading lives of good stewardship. As we hear from our State Treasurer this evening, may we all learn from his insights and work to take these principles of good government, like that of good stewardship, and successfully grow and develop them in our own lives and relationships. So, about our guest this evening. Colorado Treasurer Walker Stapleton's roots run deep in Colorado. His family has been actively involved in Colorado since the early 1900s. As Colorado Treasurer, Walker continues this proud family tradition of community leadership. Until being sworn in as Colorado's 43rd State Treasurer on January 11, 2011, Treasurer Stapleton served as CEO and CFO of various private and publicly traded companies. His extensive private sector background in finance has uniquely prepared him for the job of State Treasurer. The duties of the Colorado Treasurer's Office include investing Colorado's tax dollars, overseeing the Unclaimed Property Division, which distributes property back to its lawful owners, novel concept there, and serving on the board of our Public Employee Retirement Association, PERA. Walker envisions a more fiscally responsible and effective state government. His priorities as Colorado's treasurer are to safely and prudently invest Colorado's tax dollars, reform Colorado's PERA, and bring a higher level of accountability and transparency to government. In 2014, Treasurer Stapleton was named one of America's top 24 rising political stars by the Aspen Institute. He's received awards and honors by programs designed to bring together elected officials who have demonstrated an outstanding ability to work responsibly across partisan divisions and bring greater civility to public discourse. If only we could get Walker to help out maybe with the presidential races in there. Maybe that would help out just a tad. Not that there's any discourse or any issues there. Walker, his wife Jenna, son Craig, and daughters Colette and Olivia live in Arapahoe County. Treasurer Stapleton's community efforts include serving on the board of directors of Boys and Girls Clubs of Metro Denver and the Denver Metro Council of the El Pomar Foundation. His wife Jenna is on the board of advisors of ACE Scholarships. Together on a volunteer basis, they are involved in many other Colorado charities. Walker graduated from Williams College in Massachusetts and he holds a graduate degree in business economics from the London School of Economics and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Help me welcome Treasurer Stapleton.